We'll see. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with co-host Jay Dash. We're going to bring our extra bases segment at you today. We're going to talk about the Texas Rangers and why Dash thinks they're going to win the World Series.
Well, I never said anything like that.
Sorry, I misinterpreted it.
Look at the title. It says, don't count out the Texas Rangers.
Oh, all right. I thought it said Texas is going to win the World Series. I've had a cold, man. I can't see or hear or breathe.
I never had a cold like that. But listen, the Houston Astros, they're 71-57. The Texas Rangers, they're 65-61, sitting 5 games behind them. While the Angels are 65-62, just a half game behind Texas. And they recently just snapped a 4-game losing streak. But Texas does have a half-game lead on the Angels and the Twins for the second wildcard spot right now. So actually, if the playoffs started today, the Texas Rangers would be in. And it's kind of surprising.
Serious?
You hear nobody talking about the Texas Rangers at all. And yeah, they would be in the playoffs.
Is Josh Hamilton playing? Last I heard, he was still beat up.
He actually went to the DL recently. But look, they didn't even expect to be in the race either at this time when the deadline passed. They brought over Cole Hamels at the deadline, which was a big-time move, but they termed it as a move for next season when Yu Darvish comes back. You have 2 aces, and you're looking good in the future. But since then, they started winning games and climbing back into the race, and they made a waiver deadline move to bring in Mike Napoli as well. Now, they already figured out that they were going to be relevant this season, so they brought in Mike Napoli to help this year, and he's played pretty well for him so far. Hit .308 with a .379 on base, 2 jacks, and 26 at-bats. He was playing part-time, but he's picking up more time recently because his bat is working well out there right now. But Texas, they're 18-9 in their last 27 games, so they climbed back into this race pretty quick.
Prince Fielder's playing like a beast this year.
Yeah, offensively, they're 4th in the AL in runs scored with 561. So the offense is playing pretty well this season. Prince Fielder leading the team, obviously, hitting .316 with a .380 on base, has 17 homers, 24 doubles. Already driven in 71 ribbies, has 58 runs. And look at this. This is another one of those power hitters, man, that does not K very much. 60 Ks and 475 at-bats compared to 43 walks. This guy is having an excellent season.
Who's better, Prince or his dad?
Oh, definitely Prince Fielder. His dad was a big-time power hitter, but he was nowhere near the all-around player that Prince Fielder is.
Well, here's to you, Prince.
But then another leader on this team is Mitch Moreland, man. He's hitting .287 with a .335 on base, leading the team in home runs with 18, has 20 doubles, 67 RBIs, scored 41 runs, and has taken 25 walks compared to 84 Ks and 363 at-bats. In August, he's hitting .297 with a .338 on base, too, so he's picked it up a little bit recently as well. But those two have been the best hitters on the team this season. I mean, they got Adrian Beltre out there. He's a future Hall of Famer, multi-time Gold Glove winner. He's not having his best season, but, I mean, he's still producing. And in August, he's hitting .297, but on the season, just .268 with a .309 on base. He has hit 12 home runs and 426 at-bats, though, so he's still having a solid season. He's excellent defensively, and this is still one of their leaders as well. But then you got Rougned Odor. You remember this guy from the preseason? Yeah. He was actually, I wouldn't say an afterthought, but Jurickson Profar was supposed to be their second baseman of the future, and he's had nothing but injuries since he came up to the bigs. And he's still young, and they could get him back in the future, and that would help too. But Odor, I mean, he was, like I said, not an afterthought, but no one thought he was near the type of prospect Profar was. But look, he's hitting .280 this season with a .333 on base, 11 jacks, 5 stolen bases, and 307 at-bats. And in August, he's even picked it up even more, man. .325 with a .341 base and 3 jacks. This guy's having a great season, and he could be their future second baseman.
Odor, poor bastard. He got beat up in school. That's why he played sports, so people would leave him alone. He had to be good at sports. He'd still be getting beat up as an adult if he wasn't good at sports.
I highly doubt it. I don't even think this guy's American, so Odor probably doesn't even mean the same thing where he came from, Maine.
That's pretty racist.
How is that racist? Anyways, Elvis Andrus, this guy was actually at one time considered one of the top up-and-coming shortstops in the game. He's been a letdown over the past couple seasons, but he's still having an okay year. I mean, he's hitting .259 with a .305 on base, 6 jacks and 12 stolen bases in August, right around the same, hitting .265. But he's a good shortstop as well. It's just unfortunate for them that he isn't the type of shortstop they seen from him, 2 or 3 years ago. He looked like he was going to be one of the best shortstops in the game. But, I mean, he's still a valuable player for him. And like you said, Hamilton before, he was hitting .254 with 6 jacks for him, .268 in August. He was recently placed on a DL. But like I said, they're in this to win this. As soon as he was hurt, they brought in Will Venable from San Diego. Brought him in a few days ago. He's 3 for 11 with a double and an RBI in 5 games with Texas. On the season, he's hitting .259 with 6 home runs between San Diego and Texas. And this is a veteran player who, it was a nice move bringing this guy in after the Hamilton injury to fill that spot. And then there's sin-choo too, man. This guy is a beast, but he's not having his best season either, hitting just .248, but he does have a .344 on base and 15 home runs with 56 ribbies and 61 runs scored. This guy was looking like one of the best outfielders in baseball not long ago. And he's showing it here in August as well, hitting .301 with a .457 on base. He has 17 walks in 22 games, and that in turn helped him score 17 runs this month. So he's having a big month, and this is the type of production you expect out of Choo. Really, that's what they expected all season from him. Now, it didn't happen all season for him, but this is the type of hitter you expect him to be, is what he's showing here in August. So they have a nice offense here, and let's not forget the line of the Shields as well. Now, he's having a bad month, hitting .198 in 86 at-bats this month. But this was a Rule 5 pick from the Astros, and he stuck around with the big league team all season, hitting .259 with a .353 on base. Only 2 home runs, but he's not a power hitter. Look, 22 stolen bases, 43 walks compared to 79 Ks and 305 at-bats. So this guy has a very good eye at the plate, good plate discipline, and he's very fast. Look, 7 triples as well. And this guy has been very valuable for him, and he turned that Rule 5 pick into a starting role with the Texas Rangers. So I like this offense.
How old is the Shields?
He's very young still, maybe 24, maybe at most, I would say.
Was there the Shields that played when we were
Oh, yeah,
kids?
his dad played, yeah.
Okay, because I could swear I played like freaking RBI baseball, and I'm like, how is this guy still in the league?
Yeah, this is his son.
All right, makes more sense now.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this offense. I mean, they showed it all year that they're one of the better offenses in the American League, being 4th in runs scored, obviously. But the pitching staff hasn't been as good. 13th in runs allowed with 590 in the American League.
Out of 15, right? 13th out of 15?
Yes, so not very good at all.
Pretty bad.
There's a couple guys here that have pitched well for him this season throughout the entire season. Yovani Gallardo, he's 11-9 with a .314 ERA, a .134 WHIP. He let up 150 hits, just 11 home runs, and 58 walks compared to 99 Ks in 154.2 innings pitched over 27 starts. So he's having a good season for him. And really, he's been their rock. I mean, they have Colby Lewis, too, who's 14-6 on the season, but he does have a .438 ERA. But he's been a little bit unlucky, I believe. Look, he has a 120 WHIP. He's only allowed 34 walks in 164.1 innings, 164 hits. It's not excellent, but it's also not terrible. Here's his one big problem. Look at this. 23 home runs allowed in 164.1 innings.
I don't think that's good. I'm not the baseball guy here at the spread, but even I know giving up 23 homers in a year is not going to get you very far.
Yeah, he actually let up a couple in his last start as well, so he has to work out those home run numbers. But other than that, I mean, all his numbers look pretty good, and he's 14-6 on the season, so they're still winning in the games that he pitches. And let's not forget, they brought in Cole Hamels, like we mentioned before. He's 1-1 with a .473 ERA and a .150 WHIP in 4 starts with him, but you know Cole Hamels is an ace, and he's going to turn it around and show better numbers by the end of the season. So there's 3 good pitchers there. And then Derek Holland has been hurt for most of the season. He actually has just returned. He's made 3 starts so far, has a .473 ERA in 13.1 innings pitched, allowed 17 hits, 1 walk with 9 Ks. He made his first start since April on August 19th. He went 6 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, a home run, no walks with 6 Ks in a 7-2 win versus Seattle. This is a guy that in 2014 only pitched 6 games, but he had a 1.46 ERA. And then in 2013 he made 33 starts and had a 3.42 ERA. So him getting healthy helps this rotation as well. So you got 4 pitchers there. I'm not going to say that you can 100% trust, but that has good value and is going to eat up innings for you and keep you in games. And then Martin Perez, another guy that has been injured. He returned in mid-July after missing the first half of the season. Right now he has a 5.30 ERA and a 1.50 WHIP. In 37 1/3 innings pitched, he allowed 45 hits. No home runs though, but 11 walks compared to 21 Ks. Look, he allowed 3 earned runs or less in 6 of 7 of those starts, though. So those numbers don't tell the whole story with Perez. Look, on July 28th versus the Yankees, 1 inning pitched, 7 hits, 8 earned runs, no walks, 1 K. That's the start right there that makes his ERA look terrible, where actually he's been pitching pretty well for him. He followed that game up, pitching 8 1/3 innings with 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 6 Ks versus San Francisco. Yeah, exactly. He had a 4.38 ERA in 8 starts last season, but in 2013 he had a 3.62 ERA in 20 starts, and this is still a very young guy, so he has upside ahead of him still. So now that they're getting some of these guys back healthy, and they bring in Cole Hamels, and you still got the guy that's been pitching well for you all season in Yovani Gallardo. I mean, this rotation's looking a lot better than the 13th best pitching rotation in the American League.
That's the one thing that baseball fans really love about the game is through 162 games of the season, anything can really happen. And outside of being, 20 games back of a division lead, which I guess you still technically would have a shot at it. All these teams have a shot, especially with the second wild card. Sometimes you have injuries at the beginning of the year. If you go through 80 games, with 2 or 3 of your best players hurt, as long as you tread water, you get those guys back. The next 80 games, you can make a push. So that seems to me like what Texas is doing. And if their pitching can catch up a little bit to their offense, they got a shot. I mean, maybe not for the World Series, but, give the fans a little bit of a nifty playoff run.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they did with their rotation. Before the trade deadline, they just pieced it together and got it done however they could, and now they bring in Cole Hamels, get their best starters back healthy, and now their pitching staff looks good. And let's not forget about their bullpen either. Sean Tolleson, a 2.78 ERA with 26 saves. They brought in Sam Freeman. He has a 3.06 ERA with 12 holds. Jake Diekman, a guy that came over in the Cole Hamels deal, has a 2.08 ERA in 13 outings with Texas. Keone Kela, their future closer.
You didn't make me say his name.
So they say anyways. He's having a good season. Look, a 2.75 ERA with 15 walks compared to 58 Ks and 52 1/3 innings pitched. This guy's still very young, and they, like I said, they believe this is their future closer. And then you can see it by the numbers right there. And then Sam Dyson, another guy they brought over at the trade deadline. These are moves that went under the radar. Look, 2.40 ERA and 15 innings pitched with Texas. So they really shored up their bullpen as well. And I really see them as a better pitching staff as a whole than what their numbers showed from earlier this season. And then let's not forget their future looks pretty good too. You got Yu Darvish coming back next season. You got that top prospect in Jurickson Profar I was talking about. They need him to stay healthy. He got hurt for the season the past 2 years, but he's still very young and has a ton of upside. And let's not forget Joey Gallo, one of the best third base prospects in baseball. Now, he did get a shot with the big league team already this season, hit just .218 with a 306 on base. But look, 5 home runs and 11 walks compared to 43 Ks, though, and 87 at bats. So he's K in half the time, but he takes a lot of walks just like he showed in the minors, and he has huge power like he showed in the minors.
He's a good lawyer, too. He got his cousin off of murder charges down in Alabama.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Gallo?
My cousin Vinny, don't you remember?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
I
don't remember names from movies like you do, man.
Well, his name isn't really Joey Gallo. It's Vincent Gambini, but he tells the judge that his name's Joey Gallo because he wants him to think he's a real lawyer.
Please believe. But yeah, this is one of the top prospects in baseball as well.
Movie trivia baseball.
And then another top prospect they have is outfielder Nomar Mazar, and this guy looks like he's going to be a very good outfielder too. They might call up Joey Gallo here at the September roster expansions or whatever. You might see him. I don't think you're going to see Mazara. It's a possibility, and Profar's still out, so you're not going to see him. But there's 4 guys right there that they have for their future that is going to make this team very good for a long time if they can keep him around.
Never thought I'd see another guy's first name is Nomar.
Oh, there's a few of them, man. You'll see more and more now that there was a Nomar Garciaparra.
Yeah, too many Nomars. It's a weird name.
But they start a 3-game series versus Baltimore tonight, August 28th at 8:05. They have 7 games remaining versus the Angels, 3 on the road from September 4th through September 6th. Then they have 4 at home in the final series of the season against them. And then they also have 7 games remaining versus Houston as well, 4 at home from September 14th through the 17th, and 3 on the road from September 25th through the 27th. And then they have 19 games versus losing teams remaining, mostly the A's and the Mariners, which are still division games, but those are games that they should go out and win the majority of. So things are looking good for Texas, and there's still a lot to be decided in his division still, because they have 14 games against the 2 teams that are battling them out for the division. So I like Texas moving forward. Hopefully they can squeak into the playoffs, because they had a terrible season last year. They were supposed to have a big season last year, and they were a big letdown. Prince Fielder was injured, and he wasn't hitting very well when he was healthy. But this year, I mean, they're turning it around real quick, especially without their ace and Yu Darvish as well. And I'm hoping they squeak in somehow.
All you got to do is get there.
Please believe.
Kansas City proved that last year. Well, that's all we got for you in our Extra Bases segment today. Fans, you can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread, or follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. You can check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube. Keep subscribing. Peace.